What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about the feeling of how good it feels when you're not feeling spiritually connected to someone, when you don't feel that soul tie no more, when you don't feel that energetic cord towards someone. It's always, and when I mean someone, it's about if you're in a romantic connection, um because everyone has different life experiences. There are some people who actually experience soul ties and energetic cords with people they are in a romantic connection with. Um, that's how in in terms of like spiritual words, people call it like a karmic cycle or like a soul tie and stuff like that. It's when it's like you can't get this person off your mind. You feel this person's energy no matter what, no matter where you go, no matter how far you two are. You feel this person's energy, and like or like the physical symptoms is like you can't get them off your mind. You have faster heartbeats, you have irregular heartbeats, and you have heart palpitations. Um, it's hard for you to sleep. You see their name, or like you see a lot of synchronicities, or like you just can't get them off your head, and like you feel their energy. It's like they're right next to you and you can't shake them off, even if you want nothing to do with them, even if you're very pissed at them, even if you know they're not good for you. It's hard to shake that person off your mind because you feel this person's energy. So this is actually a real thing. A lot of people actually experience this, and people have made videos about their experiences, especially on TikTok. But my personal experience, I can confirm that things like that it's a very real thing. I don't know the right word. I know if it's, well, they all mean the same thing, like soul ties, energetic cord. Yeah, that's basically what it is. So yeah, so with my experience, I feel like I know those are facts. Like it's a real thing. I've experienced being spiritually connected and having that soul tie with at least, I think, through probably 4 or 5 people. Um, Throughout my life, back to back to back. And all these women that I was connected to, they were all dismissive, avoidant. They were all emotionally unavailable, and they were all just jackasses, pretty much. Were like all these women's, they're all the type, because I keep attracting. Well, I want to say attracting because when people say when you're attracting, I don't agree with that word, because people when they say attracting, people think that it means that you're the one that's causing this. No, because if you understand spirituality, if you study about spirituality, if you know how it works, you realize that all the people you've been in connections with, the family you're born into, the situations you're in, these were all divinely orchestrated. So like basically what I'm saying is that the more you know about spirituality, the more you study it, the more you realize that you do not have as much free will as you think you do. Yes, we have free will when it comes to the decisions we make, when it comes to the habits we develop, but when it comes to the family we're born into, the types of people that come to our life, when it comes to our work situations, when it comes to school, even the location you're born into, and even to a certain extent your circumstance, your life circumstance, if you're born rich or if you're into poverty, or like it's hard for you to move a different location, and all the connections you have energetic soul ties with, all these, and you not meeting like-minded people, all of these are divinely orchestrated. Like people don't understand, like this what makes people like lose hope in life, or they feel confused or lost, is because they're not realizing that all the shit they're experiencing is not their fault. This is why I made a past video that the title is not you, it's them. The reason why God and the universe are responsible for your pain and suffering is not you, it's them. That's why I made that video. And no, I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is when someone's into spirituality, but they use spirituality like spiritual terms or vocabulary words, or the meaning of spirituality and the concepts of it. They use it as an excuse for them to not do the healing work. They use it as an excuse to bypass life and to ignore life and to not face themselves and to not self-develop and better themselves. There are people that do shit like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about because there is a saying that knowledge is power. And the more you realize that life is bullshit, because since reincarnation is a real thing, and then there are spirits and different entities out there, and that there's past life and people are meant to break generational curses based on their family's trauma through bloodlines and due to ancestral trauma, so like that, then yeah, then clearly that this human experience is not the end all be all. There's more to life. There's multiple lives we've lived and we experienced and we're going to experience, and there's a lot of other shit that I really don't know, but clearly it's out there. So that's what I'm trying to get at. And like, if you observe life, it makes sense too, because like, why is life so evil? Why is there so much narcissistic people? Why is society so corrupt? Everything happens at a certain order, and clearly that there's a higher power, like there's a certain energy that's creating all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and not that, but I could go on and on with this, but there's just so much facts and evidence, in my opinion, that we do not have free will like that. That everything is orchestrated by a higher power. Because why is it that like a lot of people make videos about the same life situations that they've been in, or is at least similar? You know what I'm saying? So, and not just with one certain life like experience, is multiple life experiences where like a lot of people experience that same shit. So it's like, that's another evidence. But, and then you got time speeding up. So, but yeah, but basically, so without a doubt, there's different realms, and you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to get at, is that you can use spirituality as a way for you to overcome pain and trauma. Now, what may work for me may not work for you. And all the things I'm saying, those aren't facts. Those are my opinions and based on my evidence and research and experiences. So you don't have to agree with what I agree on. But what I'm saying is that I tend to look at things to where all the pain and suffering that I've experienced, it wasn't my fault. It was a higher power's fault, because they created this fucked up realm and they allow fucked up things to happen. So why would I? So when fucked up things happen to me, it's not my fault and it's not my shame to carry. It's God's and the universe. It's their shame to carry, because they allowed and they created this fucked up realm in the first place. So if you're in a fucked up if you're in a fucked up timeline, if you're in a fucked up situation, if you're in a fucked up environment, yeah, it's common sense that fucked up things will happen to you, and you will expect that. So it's no different than the human experience. That since the human experience is so fucked up, and the money system is fucked up, the human history is fucked up, everything's fucked up. Of course, fucked up shit's gonna happen to you. So that's how I that's how I look at it, pretty much. So when bullshit happens to me, yes, I still get pissed off and I get very angry. If anything, I get more angry because I'm aware that God and the universe, they're allowing this shit to happen based on our soul contract, our life script, or the things we're meant to experience in order for us to learn and grow. And I don't think most of the times we experience shit. I feel like, yes, there are certain times where we're meant to learn and experience it, but for the most part, I feel like there are certain things we're just here just to fucking experience it. Just for the fuck of it. So it could give a little bit of thrill of this bullshit human experience. But I also do believe that you can learn any lesson within anything you experience, good and or bad. You know what I'm saying? You can learn from anything, pretty much. And then I feel like that's how you, and I feel like that's when you have the free will to decide how you're gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but so I'm currently, because there are times where like because I've experienced this for such a long time with multiple people that I've been in connections with romantically, to where these women, to where they're very dismissive, avoidant, they're very narcissistic, and they won't take accountability, and they won't give me closure. And when things end, they don't give me closure. So it can be stuck, and then I'll feel these people's energy. I will not all of them at once, because I didn't meet all of them at once, but I met them one by one through each life chapter that God or the universe wanted me to experience. So when I was experiencing these connections with these people one by one, I couldn't get them off my mind. I kept feeling their energy. It was so bad to where there are times where I would spaz out, to where I would just go crazy because I couldn't get these people off my mind. I keep seeing a lot of synchronicities and stuff like that. And I was having skipped heartbeats, and even I was experiencing like spiritual symptoms, to where people call it heart chakra pains or activations. This is when like you feel a lot of pain in your heart and chest area. You feel all that pain, and it's so brutal. It's so fucking brutal. And apparently when you feel those things, those chest pains that's coming from your heart, it's not a heart attack or anything, but it's hard to explain, but it's something spiritual. But based on my research and what I've been told, and based on what I've learned and what I've been told, is that pretty much it's like heart chakra activations. So when you feel all that pain in your chest, it's because your heart is activating, so you can gain new experiences and you're evolving spiritually. and or you're purging out a lot of trauma from your life, your past life, your inner child wounds, even your family ancestral trauma. So you're purging all that shit at once, or either the or, you know, and you're purging all of that to get out of your system, and it's coming through the heart chakra. So that's when you feel all that pain. And usually when you're having those spiritual connections with people that you feel deeply connected to, or like where you can't get this person off your mind, you feel their energy. Part of it is for you so you can heal your trauma, so you can purge all that out, so you can spiritually ascend and become more aware, then attract better situations. But you have the free will to do the healing work. I feel like to a certain extent, it is people's destiny and life path to be healed and to evolve and ascend. But I also feel like it's also another person's destiny in a way to be a dumbass, to remain narcissistic because they're too weak to heal. But I feel like their life path isn't as strict, because I've been observing my life and other people's life to where they're forced to heal no matter what, and they're forced to evolve and ascend, and it's like they have no choice but to do that. But for other people, they don't have that fire up their ass, or they don't have that, you know, I feel like the universe kind of gives people kind of like a free ride in a way to where they could do or make any decisions they want. And that's why they don't end up doing the healing work, because it's too hard for them, it's too painful. So then they remain the same, or they'll be stuck in their own ways, and then they continue to be narcissistic and not change. But, you know, so, but yeah, but it's such a good feeling for me that when I am experiencing times in life to where I'm not feeling other people's energy, when I'm not feeling my exes or my past partners like energy, I'm not constantly thinking about them because they're forced into my mind, my brain, by spirit. I don't have irregular heartbeats. I'm not having any type of spiritual symptoms. I'm not experiencing any type of heart chakra pains. That's when I feel the happiest. That's when I feel the most free. I feel relieved, and I'm able to enjoy life a lot more. I'm able to, because I feel like I have a lot of free will to do what I want in a good way, to where I can finally focus on my work. I can live my life in the present moment. But there are also times where God and the universe, they'll orchestrate a situation to where I can't get this person off my mind. I'm feeling this person's energy. My nervous system is overstimulating, and it's hard for me to sleep, to focus, and you know what I'm saying? And I have all that anger and rage that I'm trying to purge out. So I feel like when you're experiencing, at least for me, when I'm experiencing those spiritual connections, I feel like God or the universe are trying to make me purge a lot of anger and a lot of trauma. I feel like it has to be, because I mean, that makes sense, because there's no way where like God or the universe, they're orchestrating these situations to where I'm feeling these people's energy and I can't shake it off. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. It has to be like that, because it's fucked up where like when you're trying to, because this is what I feel like, where I know based on my experience and my observation, we don't have free will like that. I feel like some people's lives are more restricted compared to others. Not, I kind of take that back, because I feel like everyone has a very restricted life, but it plays out in different ways to where it looks different from us compared to the other person, because we all have different life experiences. We're all meant for different things. We're all on our own different path. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you can't compare other people to your path, because it's completely different. So we all experience restrictions and bullshit and blockages, but in our own different way. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, but with me, one of it is being spiritually stuck to someone who's very narcissistic and very toxic, like very dismissive, avoidant. Pretty much trauma bonds, a traumatic reenactment, a fucking trauma bond, to where I can't get this, but except I'm spiritually, I have that soul tie, that energetic cord with that person, to where I can't get it off. Only spirit can get it off. You know what I'm saying? And with my awareness, like, I've been having that awareness while I was in these connections with these people, but it's so fucking hard and painful, I still can't shake it off. So I feel like my theory is that the reason why we experience those is so we could purge out trauma, which I hope, because it's fucked up how the universe or God, they'll purposely make you experience those things just for the fuck of it. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be a reason behind it, which I hope. which I'm giving God and the universe the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, but that shit's painful. That's fucking annoying, because when you hate this person, it's like you're forced to think about this person. You can't shake this person off your mind. You feel this person's energy, and I was gonna force you to stalk this person on social media to figure out what they're up to. Because you feel this person's energy, you can't get them off their mind, and you keep seeing these synchronicities, and your nervous system's overstimulating. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so. But the times where I don't feel the energy, to where I don't have that soul connection, the energetic time, is when I'm not stuck on them. I'm not obsessed with them. I'm able to detach from them, because I'm not being controlled by a higher power that's forcing me to be stuck on them so I can purge the trauma. You know what I'm saying? So it gets tricky. But yeah, but I feel good. I feel free, and I feel amazing. So that's all I got to say. Have a good one. Peace.